Well, guys, as you can see behind me today, I'm actually out truck shopping. I don't plan on buying anything today, mind you, but I just thought that this would be a really great day to come out, have some free time, and go truck shopping. As you can see, though, I just don't beat any trucks, semi-trucks. I'm at the Kenworth dealership here today at Springfield, Missouri, and after this, if we have time, we're going to shoot on over to Peterbilt and possibly the International dealership and see what they got. But always been a big fan of Kenworth, and one of my favorite trucks, definitely. Kenworth is definitely one of those things that I've always loved. Especially love the W900 body style, like this one right behind me right here. Stacks on the side, you just gotta love it. That right there is a trucker's worst nightmare. Death takes, man. These W900s have a lot of room in them, guys, if you've never been inside of one of them. But a lot of people will tell you that they're a lot heavier of a truck and their turning radius is not exactly that well. But in a world of where everybody's a fan of Peterbilts and those little stretched out hoods, then turning radius doesn't really matter to a lot of people, which is crazy because you go into some really tight places, some really tight docks and everything. And honestly, back down in Louisiana, like where I would come from, yes, there's a lot of sleeper trucks, but there are mainly day cabs. You just find day cabs everywhere because of the logging industry down there, North Central Louisiana, where I originate from. Huge logging industry, paper mills everywhere, just trucks going up and down the road. You meet more trucks down there than you do cars on the road, and it's like everybody down there can just drive so well because they've been doing it for so long. Definitely go look at day cabs because of that. They definitely have a particular need to have a day cab. I hear people say all the time, oh, that one's locked too. Hear people say all the time, oh well, you don't need a sleeper, you could just make do with the day cab and truck over the road. And there's people that do that and then they just lay out between the seats and stuff though. But I tell you what, guys, you spend a lot of time out there on the road, that's going to get old really fast. You're going to want to have a sleeper by the end of the day. It's just not practical to not have one. People do it to save money, but you're sacrificing longevity out there on the road because of that. Here's like almost the exact same truck we saw earlier. This right here, this clean idle crap, chokes these trucks down so bad. I wouldn't own a new truck if you gave it to me. You may be asking how come I'm out here looking at these today if I wouldn't own a new truck. Well, I'm getting an idea of what I would actually buy if I was going to buy one today. I actually like this two-tone color a lot right here, that purple off of that gray. It's really nice. Engine heater plug in on the side underneath the door. Used to have to plug them in under the hoods on the old ones. I'm used to them old like Armada backs and really, really horrible rough riding SOBs. Something about these W900s though too, they have a nice roomy catwalk on them. They're long, but they're not just so long that they're impractical. Here's another two-tone. That red and that gray really go well together. I'm just gonna take a guess and say that this one is locked as well. They really don't want people to pilfer around in these. Guys, the last time I priced a truck brand new, it was $250,000 for one that had all the bells and whistles. I remember back when they only cost about $70,000 for a new one. See a lot of these on the road too. Big full stand-up sleepers. People don't like this body style as well, but I tell you what, as far as room and comfort goes, these high rises are just so much better on you for that. I mean, especially if you have any height to you at all. I grew up riding the roads with my dad though and stuff though, and he was a truck driver for, or he's been a truck driver now for well over 30 years, and it's just insane the fact that we actually used to run on the road together in a Freightliner that had a coffin sleeper on it, and we actually made two on the road with that. And now I'm like, well, the more space you can have, as long as you're keeping the trucks practical, the better. I mean, seriously though, guys, you've got to keep that stuff practical, but you've also got to have enough space to be able to breathe, especially if you're going to spend any time on the road at all. I keep saying this, but guys, you've got to have that all the way. You just cannot survive out there on the road. And honestly, I always thought it was crazy about how people always wanted to buy brand new trucks. That is such a problem these days. Everybody has this problem of wanting to buy brand new instead of buying old, good, used, reliable trucks and everything that you can go out and actually make money with. People getting in this idea that it's a beauty contest out here, and it's not. I mean, the nicer the truck you can have, absolutely buy it. But you got people going out and buying $100,000 Peterbilts for their first truck, whenever a $20,000 Freightliner would suffice, and they can make a lot more money doing that because they're not paying all that extra interest on all that freaking money that they just borrowed. And I know all the modern day yahoos are going to tell me that I'm wrong about this and everything. And though, guys, I grew up in this industry, 3rd generation doing this. Seriously though, guys, it is not that difficult to suck it up and buy something that is within your budget. Like these W900s, I already said I won't buy anything with def on it or regen or any of that crap. But these W900s though, if I was gonna buy one, I wouldn't buy something from a dealership lot like this. I would go out and find an individual that had one. I mean, I see them all the time. Heck, I see them on there all the time for about $20,000 or so and everything. And they need work and stuff though, but he's giving like $150 for that. So you really got to think about this stuff, guys. Really think about it. When I said coffin sleeper earlier, some of you might be wondering exactly what that means. Well, this T880 right here is the closest thing to a coffin sleeper that I could really think to show you guys, because there's probably a lot of people like watching this, they don't have the first idea about what I'm talking about. So check out the size of this sleeper compared to these other ones. Of course, a lot of people call these different things, but when I grew up calling it a coffin. Got that much sleeper. Now come back over here to this W900 that we began back looking at and everything, and look at how much more it has. Of course, you also have a lot more frame. Depending on what you're doing, I would not want to try to take that thing into some of the docks that I've been to. It just is impractical. Whereas this one over here, a lot shorter. You're not dealing with near as much. The frame on it's a lot shorter because you don't have near as much sleeper on it or anything. A lot more practical. In fact, if I was going to be hauling like oversized loads or something, I would most likely want like this truck right here. Things to think about. And you got to remember at the end of the day, too, guys. Everybody always says this, oh, you got to have this many gears, you got to have this, you got to have that. You don't have to have anything. And honestly, 18 speeds and stuff like that are fine, but all you're doing is like way more shifted. If you know what you're doing, you could do just as much with a 10 speed, actually more, because you're not having to shift every time and go through all those gears every time that you're going through a red light. And besides that, you're starting to skip those gears anyway whenever you get to that point. So, but it's a personal preference though, that everybody, and here's a piece of advice I would leave you guys with. Buy what you need, not what you want. Too many people get out here. That's why so many guys go under these days. Oh, they say, oh, it's the high price of fuel, or it's the insurance costs and stuff though. And that stuff kind of does play into it though. But guys are coming out here and they're buying a $150,000 truck. Well, they never get it paid for, and then the business goes under because they're having to pay these outrageous payments on these things, guys. Seriously, it's a business. It's not a fashion show. It's a business out here. So get out there, guys, and buy something that's practical. Buy what you need, not what you want. And get out there and hit the used market. Truck prices are going down, down, down. And, you know, they say that they're just going to keep going down. And by the end of the year, it's going to be the best time to buy. And that's why I'm looking right now, because chances are, by the end of the year, by the end of November or early December, probably going to own a couple of trucks by that point. So you just got to be able to sort through everybody else's BS. And by all means, guys, don't get into the jealousy rage of when you're out here and stuff, though, and be like, well, my buddy runs that, so I got to get something even just as good, if not better. Not the way that works at all, guys. Guys, take care. God bless each and every one of you. I rambled on a lot in this video. Showed you guys a couple of trucks up here at Kenworth, and probably going to stay Peterbilt and some of those other dealerships for a later date. I'm going to head on to the house and stuff, though. Been up for a long time today and everything. But seriously, though, guys, buy what you need, not what you want. Take care, guys.